What's going on, everybody? We finna get ready to get this show started. We got a lot to get into. We're going to be talking Titans and Jags. We're going to be talking who's the star and Dunce of the week. And has Corey Davis played himself out of Nashville? Has he played himself out of Nashville? And Isaiah Wilson lands yet again on another list. About to get ready to roll. So everybody come on in. Everybody make sure you share this show out. Let everybody know what's happening. And we are about to get this show started next. Right here on Titans in Truth. Let's get it.
Let's get Titans up, Titans up. I've been scoping from the sideline, waiting for the right time to send the freshest team to scrimmage. So I'm busting y'all. Welcome to Love. We got this here, we got this here. Don't worry about it. We got this here. This is so out your life. Don't worry about it. See, we got this here. It's a brand new dance and it's about to go live. Titan up, Nashville, rep the 615. First you tighten two steps, step to the right. Then you tighten two steps, step to the left. Blue jerseys everywhere. Yeah, we got it all. Sticking out our chest. Beating on it like it's King Kong. Count that. It's about to get her up. Here come the train, y'all. Tennessee, tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Sticking out my check. We know that like it's King Kong. Sticking out my check. We know that like it's King Kong. Tighten two steps, step to the right. Then you tighten two steps, step to the left. Sticking out my check. We know that like it's King Kong. Sticking out my check. We know that like it's King Kong. Third down.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome into another edition of Titans in Truth. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. BluEnforcer, and we're going to have a very, very cool episode tonight as we talk Titans, Jags. And, this is a very important game coming up. And, this is a big division game, and this could help the Titans solidify themselves as the division champs. So this is something that they need to do. They need to take care of business. They need to get this win. And this is going to be very, very important. So, make sure y'all share this show out. Let everybody know where they need to come and enjoy this show. So, we got some people already in here. We got Titans Torture here, AZ Mick. Let's Tighten Up Podcast. What's going on? And glad that everybody's here. We're going to let some other people come on in and things like that. So we're going to definitely get into the show. We're going to name our two-tone blue star of the week and also our dunce of the day. And we're definitely going to have a lot of fun with that. So hope everybody doing all right. And we're going to get right into the nick of the show. I'm, again, making sure I share this out myself also to everybody. So let's get into the last bit about this game. Of course, the Titans lost to the Cleveland Browns 41-35, an embarrassing loss by the Tennessee Titans, drops them to 8-4. They're the fourth seed. Of course, the Steelers fell for the first time to the Washington Redskins. So, of course, now they're, people in the media and others are panicking like, oh, my God, now that the Titans make the playoffs, they're probably going to have to face Kansas City at some point. Right now, the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through Kansas City no matter how you try and slice it. And, I said it on the show last night with Ken Moore, with shout out to Shout out to K-More Sports. Make sure y'all check him out. I was on his show the day after last night. So definitely go check that out. Subscribe to his channel. He put out some great stuff. And we had a great conversation, a great time last night. So definitely make sure y'all check him out. And, you know, what we were talking about was just, like I said, this game, how the team just did not come out focused. They did not come out prepared. The Browns smacked them in the mouth early and smacked them often at home. Humiliating, embarrassing. I mean, they crapped themselves big time. So now they need to fix it. And, you know, good thing is the Jags on the schedule, but now we can't underestimate this Jags team, but we should take care of business. We should take care of business and, you know, be able to come out with this win. So let's close the book on this particular game because, again, something you don't want to talk about, you know, something that is just, it's glaring that the defense is as bad as they are. Offense made a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes, but the defense just looked pathetic, looked like it sucked, looked like it didn't give a damn. I'm like, come on. Act like you care about something. Tackle, cover somebody, for God's sake. And that was just what was going on the entire game. That it just seemed like the defense was lackadaisical. And, you know, just seemed like I guess they thought the Browns were a cakewalk. They thought they were going to win easily, and they ended up losing. So it is what it is, you know? So it's time for the Titans to step up. It's time to put up, shut up. So that's what they need to do. And so, yeah, to close the book on this game, again, it's a game that we're ready to forget about. It's a game that I've thrown in the trash, and we move on. So, with that being said, the news of the week. And it starts off with this. Our first round draft pick rookie, Isaiah Wilson, the only impact he's made is a negative one. I mean, once again, ends up on another list. This time it is the non-football illness list, reserve illness list. Never heard of it. I mean, I know I've heard of the NFI, non-football injury or something like that, but now it's non-football illness. I'm like, what the hell is going on with this guy? I mean, this guy goes from showing up out of shape, overweight, going to that stupid party, trying to run away from TSU police, then doing, you know, joyriding on Charlotte Pike, and then, you know, got COVID, ended up on the COVID list twice, and now this. I mean, how many chances is this bum gonna get? I mean, I'm done with Isaiah Wilson as far as I'm concerned. I'm done with him. I will be happy if he does not play a down of football for the Tennessee Titans. I hated the pick from the beginning. I hate the pick now. Isaiah Wilson is a complete waste of space and God-given talent, and it is a damn shame. Isaiah Wilson is a big, Money Cartel says a big kid. He's a big goofball. He is a big-ass goofball that does not deserve to be on this football team. He's definitely not the definition of a team player because it seems like he doesn't understand or compute the fact he is an NFL player. You went through 4 years at Georgia. I'm like, did Kirby Smart prepare him for the fact that he was going to be an NFL player? I mean, if you weren't ready to play in the NFL, you should have went back to college if you could. I mean, God damn it. I'm sick of this. I'm over it. So, as I've said many times before, do not ask me about Isaiah Wilson. The kid is pathetic. The kid is not going to do anything or amount to anything. The Titans need to just find a way to get rid of him and move on. I didn't want him. I can't stand the fact we drafted him. J-Rob is an idiot for drafting him, number one. Now, again, I am not saying J-Rob is an idiot overall. I'm just saying for that pick. That is a big black mark. A big red flag on J-Rob was this pick. Hated the pick. There were plenty of other options that would have been better than Isaiah Wilson. Plenty of other options. Just pathetic. Now I'm hearing people saying, we're about to talk about Adoree in just a second. You know, that some people saying that the Adoree haters are out. Bev G901, Bev G90, BLVG901, thank you, says, I'll wait and see if Adoree's going to play. Now, Adoree practiced in a limited role today, limited participation. Again, I take that with a major grain of salt because we've read this story before. Yeah, Adoree practices Wednesday, Adoree practices Thursday. Then Friday, he doesn't practice, he doesn't play. So I'm not going to care if Adoree plays until I actually see him suited up and actually on the field on Sundays. So until then, don't really care right now with Adoree Jackson practicing. Until he's actually on the field on Sundays, I don't worry about that. Now, Darrington Evans practicing full, nice. Again, same thing. Until he's actually on the field, I take it with a grain of salt. Enough said. Let's see. Guardian says, Titan always lose the prove it games. Never fails. Cold blue needs to die. I like the blue uniform, but never all light blue. Wear the light blue and white. Wear the light blue and navy. Do something like that. Don't do the cold blue anymore. If it's going to be cold blue, do all navy. Make that the cold blue. But I guess it's because the light blue is the ones you don't wear as often. I would not do that anymore. Money Cartel says, I'll just say the whole team sucked. On Sunday, yes, I agree. Adoree's overrated, let him walk. Well, we picked up his fifth year option, which looks like it's the wrong decision. C-Dub says this game tore me apart. It tore us all apart. It did. Definitely tore me apart. Without a doubt. It was one of the saddest things I could watch. I wish I could watch something else, but I was so numb that I had no choice. Let's see. BLVG says they're going to, it is a put up or shut up, and I think they're going, what you think they're going to put up? Well, they're going to have to put up now. To win the division, they're going to have to at least win, I would say, 3 of the last 4. Hopefully 2 of the last 3, 2 of the next 3, and the Colts lose maybe 2 of the next 3. If that happens, then we can go ahead and wrap up the division before Green Bay. So we'll definitely have to see about that. Money Cartel, he's a big kid, got talent, but his mind's not right. Hey, I'm sorry about that. Just had something in my eye. Just trying to work through that. There we go. See what I'm saying? I could have been a better choice at right tackle. I think a lot of us could have played right tackle a little bit better. So, Titan Torch, this is how I am really feeling right now. And we have a third stringer hanging on for dear life against Garrett. I mean, Quisenberry, that was a tough matchup for anybody. I mean, Myles Garrett's one of the best. And, you know, Taylor Lewan would have had some struggles, but I think Taylor Lewan would have did better. But I'm not going to fault Quisenberry. I mean, Myles Garrett impacted maybe 2 plays that whole game. But he did do some impact, without a doubt. Let's see. What's up, King Isaac? What's up, everybody on Facebook? Make sure y'all, again, share this show out. Let everybody know where we at so that people can come on in and join us and everything. So I appreciate everybody I appreciate everybody, making sure that y'all are with me tonight. So thank you. Let's see. Suda Man said need to at least win NFC game and both division game. Well, that's what we got. We got 2 NFC games, 2 divisional games left. Need to win them. Would love to win them all and go 12-4, but I think we win 3 of the next 4. We're 11-5. I think we're fine. I just think we need to win these next 2 games with Jacksonville and Detroit. The Green Bay game, we go up there, we see what happens. It's a crapshoot on that one. Let's see. CW says, I love Quisenberry's effort. At least he gives it his all. I know that's right. At least Quisenberry plays like he gives a damn. That's what I'm saying. Play like you give a damn. And Quisenberry is definitely giving it his all. I like the story. I love the effort. So I got no problem with Quisenberry. Hey, there are some defensive players that are just good. So is that on that? Now, Adoree, again, practice limited, but we'll see on Sunday. Not really worried about that just yet. But Corey Davis is a topic of conversation. A lot of topic of conversation. The fact of the matter is, like I said earlier, I think we gave the 5th-year option to the wrong guy. I know Adoree did some good things toward the end of last year, but he has not played a down of football this year. And it's really messed us up. It has really held this team back. The defense as a whole has held this team back. And Corey Davis is doing number balling out. He had 11 catches, 182 yards against the Browns. He now has 53 catches, 801 yards, 4 touchdowns. He is on pace right now for 71 catches, 1,068 yards, and I want to say 6 touchdowns, I want to say, is about what he's on pace for. That could get you a contract extension. And right now, the way that it's going, Corey Davis is playing himself out of the Titans' range. He is playing himself to where he's not going to be able to come back. So I want to get some of y'all thoughts. Can we bring Corey Davis back? And if we do, what is the number that you're looking at? And I'll give you mine in a moment. I'm going to read some comments. Let's see. CW says people thrashing Clowney sign saying he's worse than signing Beasley. That's a pathetic statement when Clowney was healthy. Cornerbacks are 10 yards away, wide receiver, so no pass rusher could get home. I mean, like I said, and I agree with this. The Clowney deal I would have done all over again with no problem. The Beasley deal I would have been like, if I could have slapped J-Rob for that, I would have. I would have restructured Casey, signed Clowney, we're good. Now, of course, Casey's out for the year in Denver, so I don't know if that same situation would have happened here, but I would have rather had Casey than Beasley right now, to be perfectly honest. The lack of not having a true coordinator has really hurt our defense. As I said on Ken Moore's show yesterday, we're missing the heck out of Logan Ryan. We're missing Wesley Woodyard. We're missing Jarrell Casey, but we're mainly missing Kerry Coombs and Dean Pease. We are missing the hell out of those two. Kerry Coombs brought a whole lot of energy, which is something I don't see out of Anthony Midget. And Dean Pease just knew what to do. I mean, there's more to defense than just having the talent. You got to have somebody who knows how to put players in the right position to succeed. Dean Pease knew how to do that. Vrabel and Bowen do not. They do not know how to put players in the right position to be able to succeed. Because right now, players are playing way out of position. And it is killing this football team. And it is going to stop this football team from either making a deep run or getting to the Super Bowl. Vrabel and Bowen are being a detriment to their own defense. So, I mean, Vrabel needs to hire a defensive coordinator. Like I said, if it were me, I would be begging Dean Pease right now to come back for these last few games. Now, of course, that's not going to happen. Let's be realistic. But maybe next season, Vrabel gets on his knees, begs Dean Pease to come back and be for more than a year. I would do that quick without thinking twice about it. And I mean, this defense, coaching is a big deal, and we're seeing that. With Dean Pease at the helm, with pretty much the same players, we were doing way better than what we're doing now. We were having injuries last year. You know, we had no Malcolm Butler. We had no Adoree Jackson for a while. Yet we were still doing just fine. We had Tremaine Brock running on the field who stunk, and Ty Smith. Yet we were still doing all right, making plays. But we had leaders. The defense is leaderless. At least on offense, you could tell there's a leader. Ryan Tannehill. Derrick Henry's being a leader. You had Taylor Lewan. Defensively, you have no leadership. I know Byard and Jeffrey Simmons are trying to be that, and they're great players. Byard just having a terrible year this year. I think he'll be all right. But we really have no true leader defensively, and it's hurting us big time. So let's see. BLVG says, what do you think about trading Taylor? He's always hurt. Talk about Taylor Lewan. Taylor Lewan's one of the best offensive linemen in the league. There's no way I'm trading him. And if I am, I'm trading him for a king's ransom. You're going to want a couple of first-round picks for Taylor Lewan. He's an all-pro. He's a Pro Bowl player. I'm not giving Taylor Lewan up. No, absolutely not. I hate seeing our corners playing in soft coverage, C-Dub. You're crying to acquire. We all hate that. Let's see. We shouldn't overpay him. Give him second wide receiver money, Guardian Down says. Well, the market's going to dictate that. The franchise tag is about $16 million, and we do have that in our back pocket. But you're going to have to pay Corey Davis some money. Now, if he's going to take a discount, you're probably going to be looking at somewhere between 12 and 14 million. That's what you're going to be looking at on the low end. The low end. And if I'm John Robinson, I try to lock him up before the end of the year. Probably not going to happen, but that's what I would try to do. Let's see. Sudaman says, I don't remember him getting injured other than this season. I agree. And I mean, now Taylor Lewan here and there has missed a game or two, but he hasn't missed no extensive action that I know of. AZ Mix says, I'm sad to say I think he's gone next year. And I mean, hey, that's the gamble we made. We didn't give him the fifth-year option. We had a chance to give the fifth-year option on both Corey and Adoree, and we decided against it. And right now it's looking like a bad decision. Sudaman says Byard looks like trash in the scheme. I can understand that. Guardian Down says Vrabel and J-Rob's arrogance is crazy. Only team without a DC. We're not Bill Belichick. Now, I have said that before. Vrabel speaks fluent Belichickian. Does a whole lot of talking, but not saying anything. And Vrabel is stubborn and arrogant. I thought Mike Mularkey was stubborn. Vrabel is showing he could be a tad bit arrogant. And I'm not liking that quality. I'm really not. I'm not liking that quality at all. So, let's see. I know I saw some other comments talking about the wide receiver position. Let's see. If we could get rid of Humphreys at Humphreys $9 million and give it to Corey, that would be nice. Now, that's something that I thought about. That's something I thought about. No disrespect to Corey, to Adam Humphreys, of course. He's now on the IR list, the short-term IR list, because I guess it seems like he hasn't fully recovered from the concussion. He's back on that list and back on the short-term IR. Honestly, what I would do, I know that Adam Humphreys is supposed to be the security blanket, but that's what I would do. I agree with that. I would cut Adam Humphreys, give that money to Corey Davis, and you can draft you an Adam Humphreys in the draft. You can find you an Adam Humphreys in the second, third, fourth round that could be just as good, in my opinion. P. Heck 6, I think Vrabel has the mindset of a player, still not as a coach who can come up with schemes and strategy. Now, that I could agree with. I mean, he still does have that player mentality. He's a player's coach. I give him that. But Vrabel thinks he knows everything about running a defense. I mean, again, even though Clowney had his best year under Vrabel, where was the ranking of the Texans when Vrabel was defensive coordinator? Dead last. 32nd. Not exactly who I would want is running the defense. Hate it. Gotta have a defensive coordinator next year. Let's tighten up podcast says missing leadership. You're damn right. But for me, with Corey, like I said, you're looking somewhere at least between 12 and 14 million. That is the low end. And that's me kind of lowballing Corey Davis a little bit. But you're probably going to be thinking somewhere around that 16, 17 million for Corey Davis if you want to hold on to him. Now, no, he's not going to get no 20 million. Absolutely not. Probably could get somewhere around the same deal, maybe like Derrick Henry. But I'm talking about in wide receiver standards. Somewhere around 14 million. I would say, maybe I would say about 3 years. I would say about 4 years. Let's think. I'm going to say about 4 years, maybe 50. I would say about 52 million. 4 years, 52 million. Maybe give about 28 million guaranteed. And that will probably average out somewhere around 12, 5, 13 million a year. That's what I would do if it was me. Now, Corey will probably laugh at me on that deal, or his agent will, but that's just an idea. Because I guarantee you, if Corey goes to another team, he's going to be catching at least 80, 90 balls a year. And he's going to be somebody's number one. And Jesus Diaz says, or Jesus, excuse me, says, hope CD can get his first 1,000-yard season. He's on his way. He's 192 yards shy with 4 games to go. All he's got to do is average about 60 yards a game. He's going to get it. So that could definitely happen. And A.J. Brown is close too. So you could have 2 1,000-yard receivers at the end of the year. And that would be nice. That would definitely be nice. Guardian Down says 14 million front loaded. Probably not a bad idea. P. Hicks says, you think we'll get rid of 79 after this year? I would. Sick of them. Sick of him. I'm done with him. We can't make the Super Bowl with Vrabel as our coach. That's coming from LaTanya Dotson. Hey, welcome to the show, LaTanya. Appreciate you being here with us. Now, I'm not saying that Vrabel is not a good coach. He's a good coach. But sometimes I think Vrabel gets in his own way sometimes. Sometimes Vrabel thinks he knows too much for his own good and outdoes himself. And that's something with Arthur Smith. I know a lot of people think Arthur Smith could be head coach material. But at the same time, Sometimes Arthur Smith outcoaches himself. You can't do that. You got to be smart about what you do. So, let's see. Do you remember when Mason told Taylor to be a leader? I do remember that. Maybe somebody needs to get in Isaiah Wilson's ear and tell him, look, stop your bullshit. Get your head out of your freaking ass and play some football. Act like you got some damn sense. Fix your mind and get yourself right. That's what somebody needs to be telling Isaiah Wilson. So, with that being said, y'all, after all of this, who is your two-tone blue star of the week? And honestly enough, we all know, to me, there's only one obvious choice. To me, there's only one choice for two-tone blue star of the week. He's the only player that actually played well. Now, don't get me wrong. Ryan Tannehill actually had a pretty decent game. That interception was not his fault. I will say that. Now, Tannehill took a sack. Wasn't his fault either. But I think he had a decent game. And I definitely value a little bit the comeback that the offense put on. But, again, the defense couldn't stop nobody. Couldn't stop. I mean, they couldn't stop me if I was running the ball. That's just that bad. So again, who is your two-tone blue star of the week? You can mention Tannehill. You can mention there's one obvious choice that I know somebody's gonna name. Because it won't be A.J. Brown, because A.J. Brown had too many drops and had 2 fumbles. You can say Michael Pruitt, because when A.J. fumbled towards the end zone, Michael Pruitt was Johnny on the spot and got us a touchdown that could have easily have been another turnover. So who is your two-tone blue star of the week? And while y'all are deciding on that, I want to give a shout out. I want to definitely give a shout out to my homegirl, Miss Allison Conley. Definitely want to give a shout out to her. And if y'all haven't checked out, y'all make sure I will put some information about her on my Facebook page. She has Rose Jewel Boutique. Make sure y'all check her out online. Fellas, if you're looking for some jewelry to give your lady for Christmas, definitely talk to her. She also has jewelry for guys. So, fellas, don't think that you can't get nothing. So, definitely check her out. I'll have some more information about her in the coming weeks on this show. So, y'all definitely stay tuned for that. But let's see. As far as two-tone blue star of the week, we know AZ Big says Corey. Joseph says Corey. Walker says Corey. Latanya says AJ Brown and Derek are both my stars of the week. Now, Latanya, we're talking about this game against Cleveland. Derrick Henry didn't really do much, and it was mainly because the Titan defense and the Cleveland offense took him out of the game. AJ Brown had 2 fumbles and a couple of drops. So I wouldn't exactly qualify him for that. Titan Up Podcast says Cam Batson just to go off the radar. Not a bad idea. Money Cartel says Brett Kern. AJ fumbled but still played with heart. Yes, the whole team played with heart offensively. But still, we're talking about star. We're talking about who made an impact, who made a good impact on the game. A.J. Brown didn't make a lot of good impact on the game. Yes, he had 4 catches, 87 yards, but he had more negative impact than positive impact. And sometimes, and A.J. needs to kind of get out of his own head a little bit, because maybe he's starting to feel himself some. He needs to stop that. So we're not going to really waste time, because it's a pretty easy choice. The two-tone blue star of the week, Corey Davis. Boys eclipsed close to 1,000 yards, and this might be his last year in Tennessee. I pray to God it is not. But Tanya, I got love for you. I appreciate you bringing the fire, without a doubt. Cam Batson did recover and had a very nice catch on the sideline on a fourth down, which they tried to rule incomplete, but it ended up being ruled a catch. So I definitely like that. Gerald John said, no doubt it was Corey Davis. Agreed. A lot of people saying Corey. So that's true. Facebook says, praying for Dory. He practiced today. Yeah, we're praying for everybody. We're praying for everybody. Now, of course, whenever we have a star of the week, we have a dunce of the day. And I can guarantee you there are plenty of nominees to go around for this. There are plenty of dunce of the day nominees that we could talk about. Plenty. So many. Derrick Henry fumbling the football. A.J. Brown fumbling twice, dropping a couple of big passes that would have been big. Defensively, the entire defense, in particular, Rashaan Evans with another stupid penalty. Big Jeff didn't have a great game. Breon Borders, who I thought was doing very, very well in his starts, had a stinker. You know, some people was coming up with the nickname Border Patrol, not going to cross the border. A lot of people crossed the borders yesterday, on Sunday. Kevin Byard, another nominee, just having a terrible season. So who do you got as your dunce of the day? Who is it that just completely stunk up the field? Let's see. Going back, let's see. Hakeem saying Adoree back in practice today. Like I said, read it with a grain of salt. And make sure y'all keep hitting that like button too. I take it with a grain of salt because, I mean, just when you think, yeah, Adoree's practicing. Yay, Adoree's practicing. He might play. The next thing you know, Adoree's scratched. So that's why I take that with a big grain of salt. But hopefully he practiced the rest of this week. Let's see. Titan Up Podcast says, sorry, Breon Borders have been playing so well before this game. Agreed. Facebook says the entire defense. On Facebook says Dunce, the defensive coordinator. Which, I mean, since Vrabel won't name Shane Bowen the defensive coordinator, I'm going to say blame goes to Mike Vrabel. Plain and simple. On Facebook says Malcolm Butler. Titan Up Podcast says Rashaan Evans with the penalties. AZ Mix says whole defense. Drumstar says entire defense. Now, of course, the entire defense stunk, but we need to go with specific players. Give me specific players, y'all. Let's see. Let's see. Guardian says Vrabel and J-Rob for no DC. I can agree with that, especially J-Rob. J-Rob's arrogance might have cost us the game. So, you know, we got to get our act together. And I mean, look at all this. Dunce, Vrabel. Let's see. Ty's going with Kevin Byard. P. Hicks said defense. So if you say defense, I'm thinking Vrabel. Facebook says safeties. So I will say this. The dunce of the day has got to go. I will say player-wise, yeah, I would have to go with Breon Borders. Breon Borders got exposed a little bit today. And he's been playing well ever since he took over the starting role from Jonathan Joseph's sorry ass. But yet, he got exposed. And on the one play, that big 75-yard touchdown, he got caught napping. He thought the receiver was going the out route. And then he was looking at Baker Mayfield like he was going to throw. So then the receiver turns upfield and Borders lost sight of him. And then by the end, it was too late. So, Breon Borders, I hope he gets it back together this next game, which I believe he will. Every corner has a bad game. But the main culprit in all of this is arrogant Mike Vrabel. Vrabel deserves to be Dunce of the day because he was being arrogant. He was being cocky. They thought they had this game in hand. It's your fault you didn't have the team prepared for this game. Did you think the Browns were a cakewalk? I said don't underestimate this team. Because, yes, did I believe that the Browns were a fluke? Yes. But at the same time, I also said you cannot underestimate any team. We don't have that right. We don't have the right to underestimate anybody. And it just looked like that we did. So, they're going to have to fix themselves. I don't know how you do it with 4 games to go, but Titans got to figure something out. Titans got to fix themselves because the playoffs are not going to get any easier. If anything, it just got tougher. So they better pick up the pace and they better find themselves. Sorry about that, y'all. But yes. So, Dunce of the day, Mike Vrabel, Breon Borders. Absolutely. Let's see. Where was our safety on that play? I don't know. Byard's been having a really bad year. Why was there no safety on that play? That's a good question. But they came out of a 3 tight end set in that formation. So I guess everybody thought it was either going to be a run play or that was going to be a play to a tight end. And they left Breon Borders all by himself on the other side. That is a coverage issue. Not smart. Let's see. BLVG901 says, do you think Tart tried to step on that guy? The way that the film looked, I would say no. But hey, he got, he got caught. I didn't think he was intentionally trying to step on a player. I think it's like, okay, the play happened. He was trying to get to the play. But that is not how the NFL see it. That is not how the NFL saw it. And the suspension happened. So he's going to miss this next game against the JAGS. So, speaking of the, before we get to the aforementioned JAGS, let's go to Pick My Brain. Pick My Brain. I want y'all to give me a couple of questions, and I will definitely answer them for you to the best of my knowledge. And I know a lot of people probably wonder if I went to the game. I did not. With COVID, the way that it is, I'm not going anywhere unless I absolutely have to. So, that's what it is. That is exactly what it is. But no, I don't think Tart meant to step on the guy. He could appeal. He does have a couple of days to appeal this decision, but I would rather have him for the last few games with Detroit, Green Bay, and Houston. That's why I would have him for those. Jacksonville, we don't really need him that much. All right, let's see. Facebook said we got to stop being predictable on offense. We can't go run, pass, and we can't go play action, run, pass, or anything like that. But at the same time, Arthur Smith cannot get too cute. Go with what works. If the obvious is working, meaning giving the ball to Derrick Henry, give the ball to Derrick Henry. So that's what I say to that. I mean, they're not being too predictable, but Arthur Smith has to quit getting cute and just coach the game. Just coach the game. You do that, you will be okay. I guarantee it. Let's see. I know a lot of other people are voting for Malcolm Butler. I can understand. Malcolm hasn't been half bad to me, but he has his moments. Walker says, let's take them out of the game early. And I agree, and that's something we're going to talk about with this next game. So this is, let's see. CW says, what would a defensive coordinator help with our current state of injuries at outside linebacker and cornerback? Even if he had Dean Pease, he could not get any more out of this group. Not necessarily. We didn't have much of a pass rush last year, and Dean Pease got a lot out of this team. So, you know, that is... Excuse me, I'm sorry about that, yo. Worked a long day today. But, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Could something happen now if Dean Pease came back? Maybe not, but I'm not going to say that Dean Pease couldn't put a game plan together that would be beneficial for the Titans to get the job done. I think he would do that. He knows the scheme. He knows the players. He knows what they're good at. Shane Bowen, not so much. So, let's see. Facebook says, you can't give the ball to Henry if the O-line isn't blocking. Well, for the most part, the O-line is blocking. The O-line is definitely doing some blocking and definitely done well. I mean, Derrick Henry has right at 1,300 yards right now. So obviously the offensive line is doing something right. Let's see. Joseph said, do you think Tennessee Volunteers will demolish the Vanderbilt Commodores this Saturday? I don't know. Vols suck. Vandy sucks. It's the toilet bowl. You know, I would rather watch some Coastal Carolina football. Maybe watch the Army-Navy game than watch Penn State. So I'm turned off of that. Let's see. Daryl John says, who would you hire as DC right now? I would say either Dean Pease or Wade Phillips right now. So that's what I would do. Pease or Wade Phillips. And so that's that on that. That's what I would do. I hope they don't pull a Pruitt. I hope they don't. So Pruitt can get gone. Can go and get fired. They probably will. I don't really know as far as with Tennessee. But Pruitt is in some trouble, especially with running Garantano out there every week, and Jared Garantano couldn't throw off the side of a barn. And, I mean, he's terrible. Jared Garantano is a terrible, terrible quarterback, in my opinion. So, that would put us in a better position. I think Dean Pease could put us in a better position to succeed, even in the short term. But that's just me. Let's see. Let's see. A lot of people talking about let's see, defensive coordinator, best defensive coordinator in football right now. That distinction is something that I can't give away right now as far as who's the greatest defensive coordinator ever. Um there's a couple of ways they could go with that. Like I said, Dean Pease, Wade Phillips, maybe even Greg Williams, but with Greg Williams, he runs a 4-3, which I wouldn't mind them going back to. So that's something I like. Walker says, your thoughts on Batson? Batson, pretty serviceable. Very serviceable. He's definitely getting more snaps than Khalif Raymond. I do agree with that. I don't know why Khalif Raymond ain't getting a bunch more snaps, but Cam Batson made that catch on the side, so nice. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this game. The Jags coming in 1-11 on the year. They're obviously in tank mode. They're in tank mode. They're tanking for they're tanking, trying to see if they can move up for Tua. I mean, not Tua, I'm sorry. They're tanking for Trevor Lawrence, which the Jets are doing an amazing job at that, just basically handing the game away to the Las Vegas Raiders. So right now, the Jags are 1-11. They may get Justin Fields. It's in Jacksonville. We know that is Derrick Henry country. And so we have a chance to get on track, get back to 9-4. And I am looking forward to this game. So, of course, now we got the BluEnforcer 4 points to victory. CW said, did Adoree practice today? Yes, as a limited participation. Limited participation. CW says, Jackson will be better than Borders. Borders could still be on the field. But yeah, Jackson is a bit better. I do agree. What was I thinking? Let's see. Jets aren't allowing them to catch them. They're playing close games. The Jags are playing close games. Matt Patricia could be good also. Again, let's stop with that too. Yeah, stop with the whole we think Matt Patricia is a defensive coordinator type of coach. No. Matt Patricia's defenses are horrible. Like, just as bad as ours. Matt Patricia has lost his locker room. The team didn't even want to play for him. So no to Matt Patricia. I would not want Matt Patricia as our head coach, and I wouldn't even hit him. I wouldn't even touch Matt Patricia with a 10-foot pole. Sorry. No to Matt Patricia for me. Let's see. Rufus says, can't count them out because their record looks because of their record. Look what happened when we played the Bengals. Agreed. Absolutely. Again, like I said earlier, we have no right to overlook anybody. You know, a lot of people say Kansas City is just toying around with teams. Kansas City has a right to overlook some teams. They're Kansas City. So we got to get our act together. And that's what they need to do to win this game. See, CW says, Patricia is a good DC. Keep the ball away. Don't hand. Let's see. Yeah, see, I lost it. Yeah, but you're right. We can't sleep on the Jags. We don't deserve the right to. Can't sleep on the Jags at all. Because if we do, week 2 was a close game. Week 2 was a close game. Damn near should have won. Damn near Jags could have won that game. Could have won. So Guardian Down says Border gets interceptions. He got one. Should have had two. Adoree doesn't get picks. Now that's true. Adoree hasn't had a pick since 2017. So that's that on that. But the BluEnforcer 4 points to victory. Let's start with number one. From what happened after the last game, play angry. Make an example of the Jags. Run the football, impose your will, and don't turn the ball over. This is a King Henry game. This is where King Henry can make the Jags bend the knee. Make them bend the knee and make them bow down to their king, their emperor, Yulee County's own, Yulee, Florida's own, Derek the King Henry. Run that rock. Play angry. Play mad. You should be ticked off for this game. You should be so angry that you want to take out your frustration on anybody that is in a green, white, or black uniform, depending on what the Jags are wearing on Sunday. So that's what I would say, number one. Play angry, make an example, no turnovers, run the rock with Derek. He always runs them over. Number two, get off to a fast start. Don't let up. Get off to a start and again, get off to a big lead early. Don't let up. Do not give the Jaguars any kind of life or any hope that they think they could come out somehow win this ball game. Don't do that. Number three, defensively, change the narrative. People are laughing at you right now, defense, because everybody thinks you're the worst defense in history. Time to change that. Change that narrative. Get back out there. Tackle. Cover. Do something. Play like you give a damn. For the love of God. Play like you give a damn. Play with some effort. You got Laviska Shenault. You got James Robinson on the other side. You're going to have to wrap up. And so, I mean, just play like you care. Play like you care. You want to win. You want to do well. You want to be better than what the stats say. And then last but not least, create turnovers. Get a pick or two. Fumbles. Pick them up. Do something. Fix your problems. Now, all problems are not going to be fixed in one game. But you can sure start to fix some problems. Daryl John said, number one, do not start slow. Agreed. Start fast. Facebook says, Henry going to run wild. Second game against the Jazz, and he's mad. Yup. I would think so. CW says, Border is giving it his all as a fourth corner and not number two. I can understand that as well. But, yeah, in this game, a lot of that's got to happen. Create some turnovers, play like you give a damn on offense and defense, play angry, play fast. That's what we have to do to win this game. We need to run a two-back set, Walter Guy says. I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't be opposed to it. But whatever, whatever we have, we got to keep going with. That's just it, plain and simple. Now, my prediction goes like this. I think the Titans get back on the right track. I think they take care of business 24-10. I think Mike Glennon does throw an interception, and James Robinson does not hit 100 yards. So that's what I would be saying on that. I think the Titans get this win, 24-10. They go to 9-4, stay in control of their own destiny of winning the AFC South, and so I like the Titans in this game. Now, Drumstar says we need to blitz more and give our secondary a break. I mean, here's the problem with that. If you do a bunch of blitzing, you're leaving corners on islands, one-on-one man coverage, and most quarterbacks could eat that alive. Excuse me for that. Let's see. Joseph says we need to play angry against. We played angry against the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day in 2008. After the New York Jets gave us the first loss of the year. Now, in that game, yeah, Thanksgiving Day they did play angry against Detroit. They did. And if they playing angry in 2008, they need to be playing angry in 2020. Absolutely. CW says if the Titans can't stop Glennon, Titans can't stop anybody. But Landry needs to help badly. He's never getting rest playing all the snaps. Sign Clay Matthews, CW says. I mean, he's out there, but I don't know if they're going to do it. If they were going to bring in Clay Matthews, they would have done it already. So, I don't know. So, what's up, Titan Mafia? What's going on? But, y'all, let's get into the Blu Bombshell, y'all. We don't know if Adoree is going to play or not. Right now, again, I take it with a grain of salt. We don't know if he's going to play or not. We'll definitely have to see. But the Blu Bombshell, first off, Dez Bryant. So Dez Bryant tested positive for COVID-19. And they tested him again before the game. And they said he had a positive test. And then he comes out and tweets, according to ESPN, saying he's calling it quits. Because he was pouting because he didn't get to play against his former team, the Cowboys. He didn't get to play against his former team. And, he felt some type of way about that. I'm going to try to see if I can find the tweet. See, Dez Bryant says, he tweeted out, says, this was more than just another game for me. It wasn't about revenge. I didn't need a catch. I wanted to make a point. Yes, it was. It's about revenge. This was about you getting back at the Dallas Cowboys. You wanted to get back at them for cutting you. So, yeah. Now, let's see. Trying to find a tweet, but I can't seem to find it. But yeah, he tried to call it quits after he didn't get a chance to play against the Cowboys. So we're definitely gonna see if he plays for the Ravens again this season. We lost on Clowney. Yep. He's out for the remainder of the season. We scored 40 plus points against Detroit. Yes, that was Thanksgiving Day in 08. But now I don't know if we'll be able to pull that off. but we'll definitely have to see. Titans score more than 20. Even if they lose, we'll still score 30. With that said, I'm going 38-17. Yeah, the Titans can score. The Titans can definitely score. Without a doubt. Problem is, don't know if they'll be able to stop anybody. Joseph says, cry me a river, Dez. He is. He's definitely crying everybody a river, but Dez just wants some attention. But last but not least, before we say goodnight, got some sad news. I believe this was yesterday. Miss Natalie Deselle Reid died at the age. She passed away at the age of 53 yesterday. I believe she was dealing with cancer. She was dealing with cancer and was fighting that. I want to say colon cancer was what she was dealing with. I honestly did not know that was what she was dealing with. I was just I'm definitely sad to hear this news. I mean, to me, she was an underrated actress. She played, if any of you remember, she played in the movie Baps with Halle Berry. And Halle Berry, she's taking this loss very, very hard. Halle is definitely down about the loss of her friend, as a lot of people are. She was on Baps. She was on Medea's Big Happy Family. She was in the Cinderella movie with Brandy. So she was. She definitely was in How to Be a Player with Bill Bellamy. Said she was in Set It Off. Oh yes, she was. She sure was in Set It Off because she was the girl that did Stoney Brothers' hair before he got shot. Yeah, I remember that. I definitely remember that. But I'm sad because I mean, she was such a beautiful lady, hardworking, definitely had some swag to her. I liked her a lot. Enjoyed seeing her in the movies that she was in. Just gone way too soon. But she was battling colon cancer, and so that's what happened. She leaves behind a husband and children. So rest in peace, Miss Natalie Deselle Reid. Rest in peace, my Bap, Black American Princess. My Bap. Rest in peace. Live forever. And Ty Mafia said that's the same thing that got Chadwick. Yeah. Still missing Black Panther. Wakanda forever. But y'all, that is pretty much it. I know I've gone over an hour. Thank y'all for sticking with me. I apologize, I'm tired from work, but I still wanted to bring some great content to y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to Titans and Truth. I'm your man, Chris, aka BluEnforcer, and I know a lot of people have been upset about the game. I was too, but there was only. But as we get out of here, y'all know there's only one thing we know how to do. This is all we know how to do, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. But we got to tighten up. Good night, y'all. Y'all thank y'all. Y'all have a great night. Tighten up. Henry gonna be angry. Let's make it happen. What's up, Mario? Hopefully we do get Christian Fulton back, y'all. But tighten up. Good night. I holla.